Hi everyone, Kevin McDonald here, and today I'm joined by Chloe Tyrell, who's doing some awesome stuff in property. Now Chloe's based up in Norwich, so if you're in the Norwich area, you need to be reaching out to this lady and see what you could do together, maybe even in property. However, before we get into the interview, make sure you like, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. We're on YouTube every single week with more content, so don't miss out on it. So, Chloe, thank you for joining us.
Oh, no, thank you for having me, Kevin.
More than welcome. So, just for anyone who's watching in, Chloe, when did you sort of think about getting into property? So how long ago was that?
Well, I'm 31 now, right. And my business partner and I, Carl, we got into property sort of early 20s, but it was only a simple buy-to-let. Right. Nothing too crazy or no strategy. We weren't thinking about anything sort of investment-wise. We were just thinking about the pension pots. Okay. So that was early 20s, but really we started to get into property 2019. That's when we started to really knuckle down.
Now, when you say early 20s was that like full-time job, part-time, sort of building a property portfolio on the side?
No, really just full-time working for both of us. Yeah. And then just got little buy-to-let and it was just sat in the background. Right, and we weren't going to touch it until we were in our 60s, that sort of mindset, really.
So what was the job? What was the job that you were doing, and I guess what did day-to-day life look like then as you were part-time property?
So it was very different to now. I actually trained as a nurse, and I went to work after my training in critical care unit. I knew very early on that clinical work wasn't for me, so I left. I chose to leave, and I worked for the county council then. I worked within an integrated care service, and I coordinated basically health and social care professionals across a large geographical patch. Right. So that was work for me then. I went back to uni. I did management and leadership, and then I worked on another service provision. Added a new job role into a major acute hospital. So that was my life really, health and social care.
Carl, you mentioned, is business partner, not life partner.
He's my business partner and my life partner.
And your life partner,
yes,
right? So
yes.
I was going to say, how did you meet and why did you decide to do property together? But I guess I figured out why you decided to do property together. But when did you meet Carl? How did you meet Carl? And how long were you together, I guess, before you decided let's get a buy-to-let?
Well, I actually had a buy-to-let of my own, right. And Carl had a buy-to-let of his own, and then we met after that.
Oh, wow, okay.
So he was working at the Royal Air Force in Norfolk, and we met through a very sophisticated algorithm of swipe left or swipe right.
Okay.
And my first and only Tinder date, we just hit it off straight away. So we were together. We've been together for 7 years, but it was 3 years we decided to then collaborate properly in property. Right. So we got a little bit of capital that we'd got from our individual properties and our savings and our employment, and we decided to then buy a residential property which we'd convert to a HMO. Right.
So now in your, you started early 20s up till 2019. How many properties had you done sort of together?
Just one.
Just the one?
And not together either.
All right, so you've done one each?
One each.
What, nothing together?
Nothing together.
Okay, and then 2019 was when you decided to start to do more stuff together?
Yes, okay. Absolutely.
Did you just go out and do that without, reading books, getting any knowledge, or what was the initial sort of step?
Yeah, so 2018 was a real turning point for both of us, really. Carl, he was medically discharged from the RAF. Right. And I'd had a very difficult time at the hospital, and I was sort of trying to think about how could I exit my career. So at that point, we then started reading books. That's when we first learned about progressive. Right. We just bought lots of books off of Amazon, and we looked online, we were watching YouTube videos, and just spent a good part of 2018 self-educating, right. Which now having attended a progressive course, I don't know if I'm running away with this, is something, having attended Anne's masterclass, the 4-day course, we wish that we had attended training beforehand, because that 4-day course pretty much summarised everything that we had done in the 6-month to 12-month period.
Right.
So
when was it that you attended that 4-day masterclass?
That was October last year.
October 21.
Yes.
Right. So 2018, Carl was medically discharged.
Yes.
And you were having some challenges. We got 18, 19, 20, so almost 3 years later.
Yes.
Before you did the 4-day masterclass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what in that sort of period, 18 to sort of 2021, what had you done in property? Had you got any deals done when you decided? So you decided to do property together. Did you do any deals in that sort of period of YouTubing and reading books?
Yes, definitely. So after getting that base of knowledge, I was an evidence-based practitioner. I could critique research and things, so we felt quite confident that we knew where we were going. Right. So at the beginning of 2019, we bought a 3-bed residential and made it into a 5-bed licensed HMO.
Awesome.
It was a full back to brick refurb. Right. And then later that year as well, we did the same again with another property. So another 3-bed into a 5-bed HMO.
So for anyone watching this, HMO is a house in multiple occupations, so a multi-let property where you rent individual rooms out to different people. But
Yes. So we did that in our first year. We also did a bit of works to our own home.
Yeah.
Then after that, it actually was the lockdown. So we just finished our second HMO, and it got us to February 2020. Right. And then March 2020, we all went into lockdown. And I was still working, so then my employment went from like 9 till 5, Monday to Friday, to 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. And it was really difficult actually. Because we just spent this whole year basically working full time, doing the properties every evening, every weekend, doing it mostly all of ourselves, which is a rookie move. But we spent a whole year grafting, and then it went into lockdown, and then my employment got really, really hectic then as well.
That must have been difficult, obviously, during that. That would have been crazy. I can't even imagine having to go through work in a hospital during that period of time.
Yeah.
But you then, obviously, you sat the masterclass here at Progressive in October 21, was it? November 21?
Yeah, October.
October 21. What else have you done here? So have you done any of the other trainings?
So we came to the Masopi in September.
Yeah, so Masopi, multiple streams of property income.
Yes,
yeah.
And I signed up to your course, Kevin.
Yes,
I attended that. That was brilliant. So we did that one, or I did that. Sorry, I keep saying we because we're a team.
Carl leveraged you to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So I attended your course, I attended Anne's, and I've been to Dan's as well.
Dan Eaton, commercial conversions.
Yes, right. Exactly. And I've really pursued that, and I'm part of his masterclass now.
So on the HMOs you've done, the stuff you've done initially, what would you think that if you had done the training earlier, you would have fast-tracked that?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. If I'd done the training earlier, I think it would have just the whole year that we spent, or 6 months, 12 months learning, we would have been able to implement or build our confidence, change the mindset. We would have started a bit earlier. When we first started, we were only using our funds. We didn't know about investor finance at all. Yeah. And that's a big part of the course, and they talk about that. We didn't even know about investor finance. Our first investor approached us actually, so that was interesting. But it would have sped the whole process up, and it would have saved on any sort of costly mistakes that you make through experience. If someone has already been there and done it, then you can learn through them.
October 21 to now, we're in sort of middle of June 22. So we're looking at 7, 8 months? What have you done over the last sort of 8 months?
So we have another back to brick renovation at the minute. Right. We're about halfway through that, and that's going to be another HMO in Norwich.
Are you still doing that yourself?
No, oh gosh, no. No, those days are long, long gone. We value our health and family and friends far too much to be doing that ourselves now. But so we've got a really good build team. They're there, they're doing it, they're cracking it out. And we've got another HMO straight away afterwards, renovation.
Right. So you've already lined it up, secured it, just as soon as the builders are finished, they go straight into it?
Yes, exactly.
Lovely.
Yes, so we've got the Resi to HMO now, Resi to HMO straight away afterwards, and I've just secured a rather large commercial conversion as well.
Yes, so tell us about the commercial conversion that you've secured. So how did you find it? What are the numbers? So what's the profit like? 'Cause you're smiling about it, so...
So the commercial conversion, it's a whole new strategy for us. We've sort of went from buy-to-let to HMO, now this, and from doing the course, analysing the deal, and with the mastermind as well, with Dan, to get the property, it's just following actions really. There's consistency with actions, and sort of making relationships with agents, and perseverance, because this property, I first saw it in February, put my offer in February, and I only got the offer accepted last month in May. So it's taken a long time to get it over the line, but with that, it's just about keep building relationships with agents, do what you say you're going to do, be honest with the vendor about what you can deliver really with timescales, and I created a developer CV, and gave that to the agent who was selling the property as well, so that they could see that we've got a bit of experience.
Do you think that all those challenges of putting offers in February, getting them completed sort of in May, putting together things like developer CVs and stuff, do you think that you'd have been able to do that and persevere and all the stuff you spoke about if you didn't have the support of Dan and the mastermind around you?
I know that I would have been able to, because I'm a bit of a determined person. Yeah. But it just makes it so much easier if you have a support team around you.
So easier, does it speed it up? When you say easier, what do you mean?
I guess you're part of a community, and you're meeting and talking to other people with similar mindset, ambitions. They want to do the same things. So it's just being around the right people. So I don't know if it would necessarily speed it up, because I think the decisions were out of my control. They were on the vendor's side, but it was just good to bounce ideas off other people and know what else to do.
So I guess feel safer with doing it with people around you, or what's the main, I guess, what's that main benefit for you? If you could sum it up into a main benefit, what would it be?
Main benefit
of having a peer group around you?
Peer group and Dan as the mentor is just knowing that someone has already been where you want to be, and they can support you to achieve your goals. I'd say that's the main thing really, and especially with every mentor here at Progressive, you do the strategy that you're promoting and that you teach. So it's not like Dan is just teaching the course. He has active commercial conversions going on at the moment. Has
he took you to any to look at them?
Yes.
Oh, he has?
Yeah, we've been to quite a few now.
Right. So what type of projects are they?
Dan is playing real life Monopoly, and bought a whole street in Gloucester, and another very large warehouse on the river, on the quay. So we've been to both of those, and that's brilliant, because that is similar scale to the project that I've just had my offer accepted on. So it's really good to know that he's...
the scale, this is your first ever commercial conversion. Now you've got 4 HMOs so far, is it?
We've got 7 properties altogether.
How many HMOs, how many single lets?
It's going to be 5 HMOs.
5 HMOs, 2 single lets?
Yes.
Okay, so 7 properties, 5 HMOs, 2 single lets.
Three single lets.
Oh, 3 single lets.
Yeah.
Okay, so 8 properties.
It's because we've got the one that's just gone
about
through.
To come.
Yeah, and the one coming.
Right. So 7 properties, 4 HMOs, 3 single lets, but a 5th HMO that will be in the pipeline once you get the fourth one finished.
Yes.
We got there. Okay. You can lose track of how many you've got when you're at this level. Now, for a lot of people watching in this that's like a lot of property. The average investor in the UK probably gets 2 houses in their lifetime. So to get to 7 is awesome. For many other people that get to 7 and think, okay, will I move into commercial conversions? Is it too soon? Should I start and cut my teeth on a small one? What should I do first? So your first ever commercial conversion project. Now, commercial conversion is taking a commercial building, what's currently classed as commercial, and converting it into a residential. So how big is this project? What have you bought? What is it currently, the use class of it? What's it used for? And what are you converting it into? What's the plan?
So this is a bit out of permitted development. So it's use class E, it's an office block. It's very large and it's already got planning permission approved. For 40 units.
40, 40?
Yes.
40 units. Do you mean bedrooms or apartments?
Apartments.
40 one-bed apartments or 2-bed apartments? Or?
There is a mixture of both.
A mix.
Because that's what the area needs.
Yeah. So what's the breakdown? So
there's multiple levels.
Yeah.
Duplex apartments and what's the word?
How many 2 beds? How many 1 beds?
Oh, it's primarily 1 beds,
right,
and just a few 2 beds.
How tall a building? How many floors?
It's 3 floors.
3 floors. So your first ever commercial to residential conversion is a 3-floor large office block that you're converting into 40 1- and 2-bedroom apartments.
Yes.
That's exciting and scary, but exciting. So, well done for taking on such a big project in your first ever project. Because this is what everybody at home's interested in. That's great, but what is the profit, Chloe? So if you get this, it's over the line, secured?
It's offered. We've got the head of terms, and we're just going through legals, and I'm getting other teams involved.
Okay, cool. So legals, so pretty much it's there. Head of terms agreed. It's in legals. You're going to be completing it soon. Once completed, and you do the conversion works, what is the gross development value, the end value, and I guess what will your profit be from the deal?
So at the minute, the gross development value with the market, how it stands, it's about 6.8 million. But it's difficult. I want to be accurate, so without my spreadsheets here right in front of me, roughly, and then there's still costings and things to come in as well. It's so I'm done the analysis myself, done the analysis with Dan and the masterminding group. So I'm just waiting for further detail from the QSs about exact costings, but it's got about a 26% profit margin. Okay, so you're looking at north of £1 million? Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes. So definitely minimum, worst case scenario, £1 million profit? Yes, but it's not to sell, it's to hold. One deal, £1 million profit. Yeah. If somebody said to you back in sort of even 2020 that you'd be sitting here now having a conversation with me 8 months after coming into Progressive Property, talking about a deal that you could make £1 million profit on, what would you have said to them? Excellent. Let's go. That's what I'd say. No, I'm stoked. I'm really glad. We've worked really hard to get to this point, and we've invested a lot in Progressive, and we're dedicated to it. So I'm really excited to move forward. And if it's not this one, we'll see how it goes, because I'm very mindful that the true costings will come in. We'll see how the market goes. So if this one can't go through, then there'll be others. There'll be others. Yes, and if it does go through, there'll still be others as well. So what would be your sort of 3 to 5 year plan? What are you looking to achieve? Where is the end? When's enough enough? When's enough enough? I guess for some people, £1 million profit from a deal, they'll be like, that's it, I'm going to lie on the beach. But for you, what's the goal? I think I have an innate love of property and challenge, so I don't think there's an end in sight for me. Right. I can't see myself just lying on a beach, because even when I'm lying on a beach, I was reading Glenn Delves and Mark Homer's commercial conversion book. Right. So that's who I am. we like to hold properties, so the next 3 to 5 years, 3 years, this commercial conversion should be through.
Yeah.
And then my partner is going to run the full BRR buy-to-let and HMO side of the company, so we're not going to stop with that. We're going to keep going with HMOs, buy-to-lets, BRR, and I'm going to go full into commercial conversion. So side by side, we'll have the two strategies running together.
Okay, good plan.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask you about Carl, and so your exit is you just want to keep doing it. Is Carl of a similar mindset?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we work really well together. And there is balance, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's so important. Not wealth. Family, friends is very important to us. But then in a sense, I guess wealth is, because wealth facilitates what is important to us. So...
For anybody watching this who is looking to get into property, already in property, or looking to get maybe their partner involved, how do you mix business and the marriage, the relationship, the two together or separate them? What advice or tips would you give for people who are maybe in a similar situation, but they're having challenges with their partner to do this, or thinking should they get their partner involved? What sort of tips would you give?
The biggest thing for us is communication. We don't leave anything off the table. We're very transparent and to the point with each other, to the point where I think externally people may think, are they okay? But I think things have to be said. And if you can both communicate and you both know where each other stand and what's important to both of you, then you're informed and you can go forward together. So communication is the largest thing. Secondly is having split roles, so that you don't tread on each other's feet, and that you know exactly what you're doing and what you have to have accountability for, and what the other person has accountability for. That way you can keep each other accountable too, and just check in now and then. And thirdly, on a romantic level, I'd say do something together that you really like. So we really like nature. We go for lots of walks, hikes, quite sporty. So we have a cut-off. So we don't talk about anything property if we're on a walk or anything like that. Yeah, it's hard, but we do it.
Getting all of this happening, you mentioned about you've been in the NHS in a job. Carl getting medically discharged. Is Carl still full-time? Is he full-time property?
No, Carl isn't yet. He's an engineering inspector. Right,
so he's gone back into engineering inspector work.
Yes.
And you said Carl isn't yet, so does that mean that you've got yourself out of the NHS?
Oh yes, I left last summer.
Right, so you're full-time property?
Yes.
How does that feel?
It's amazing, yeah. It's something that we were both working towards, and it means a lot really to be out of health and social care. It means everything.
What would you say to anybody who's watching this thinking, could they get into property? Is it possible for them? What advice would you give them?
Absolutely, you can get into property. I think a really important thing is to have a bit of introspection and know a bit about yourself and what you really want and what's holding you back too. I think that is, anyone can do it, but find out what's holding you back from doing it. Is it lack of education? Buy some books. If it's confidence, then maybe get a mentor. Or if you want to embrace community and get to know a bit more about it first, then do that. There's a lot of things that people can do if they want to get into it.
So, Chloe, that's absolutely awesome. I can't wait to see this commercial conversion. I can't wait to see it go through and watch you progress in the deal, and the first of many. For anyone who's watching this, Chloe, and thinking, okay, I would like to get in touch with Chloe, I'd like to reach out to Chloe, how can they find you? So my company is called Estately Property Group. Say that again, Estate Lead.
Estately, so it's spelt Estate, L-Y.
Right, Estately.
Yes.
So Estately.
Yes.
Property Group.
Yes.
Okay, Estately Property Group.
Yeah, we have a website, we are on Facebook and Instagram, so we're really trying with social media, but it's not our strong suit, to be honest. So reach out to us, email, whatever really.
Awesome. So guys, You've been listening to Chloe Tyrell. She's got lots of HMOs, single let properties up and running already. She's got herself out of her job to go full-time in property. Her partner is on his way to doing the same thing as well. They've got a commercial conversion project going through legals right now. There's going to be over just under £7 million gross development value with over £1 million of profit. That's just one deal. If you want to know more about Chloe, then reach out to her. If you want to know more about how you can build a property business like this as well, then make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future content. We're sharing videos on live projects as well as interviewing students who are delivering live projects every single week here on the YouTube channel. So make sure you don't miss out on any of that content. Guys, I've been Kevin McDonald. She's been Chloe Tyrell. You've been absolutely amazing, and I'll see you next time. Wow.